Goodbye to yesterday. Hello to Eesti Laul 2018. Stig Rästa has entered the contest. He will compete against 19 other semi-finalists for a spot at Eurovision 2018. Let's talk about it. Yes, he and Alina Born rode a wave of hype to Eurovision 2015. They came in the top 10 but did not win, despite the fact they were much loved, including by us. They won the Wee Wee jury that year for their atmospheric throwback song. There was fire, there was passion from Alina. Stig, he was real mellow. I loved the performance though. I thought they worked well. But the question is, can he slay on his own at Eurovision?
I'm doubtful. I just watched Goodbye to Yesterday a little while ago, and before that, I just watched Calm After the Storm. And you know, in 2015, there were a lot of acts who were doing the male-female duet, and this actually felt like a lot more like a copy. They were trying to be like the Common Linnets. They didn't have the same chemistry. It was a good song. They're both good singers, but. Yeah, definitely. In that case, Alina was the star. Stig was her backing singer almost. And remember, at the end of it, he walks off the stage. So, and you know, it was no big deal. He's a very chilled out, very low key kind of guy. I've watched a lot of his solo songs. It's just the sort of strummy acoustic guitar, folk singing. He does it really well, but. I don't know. And his song for Eesti Laul is called Home, which makes me think another sort of strummy acoustic guitar folky song. So we'll see.
Yeah, see, the thing as well about him is that he competed in Eesti Laul oodles of times before 2015, but he never really had this huge fan buzz about him the way Sanna Nielsen did before she won in 2014. That people were like, it's her time, she has to go, she's had so many good songs. Whereas it wasn't until Goodbye to Yesterday that people kind of realised that Stig Rästa was a thing. And then suddenly everybody got behind that song. But I think it was the dynamics and the chemistry of that song, and he captured a moment with it. But that a lot of his other songs are kind of nondescript. And then even, he writes songs. He wrote the 2016 entry in... for Estonia, and that came last in the semi-final. Kind of after 2015, he suddenly people kind of looked at him as if, oh, he's this messiah, but he hasn't done much at Eurovision since, because there was Euros, and then he entered in Romania last year, and that song didn't go anywhere. So I don't know, we could be just being overly harsh on him. He could have a great song up his pocket, but he really relied on Alina that year. And then back in 2014, he was with the other members of Traffic, his band that he's in on the side. So it's very hard to tell.
It's interesting. In 2014 with Traffic, he wasn't the main star, the main singer. There was someone else who vocally, visually kind of owned it, and the camera would pan to Stig. But it's almost like he lacked confidence back then, or maybe just by comparison, he was meeker than this other singer. And so after that, you know, it's kind of like his moment, him coming to the fore. Why he worked with Alina, I think the contrast was so stark. His kind of mellow, yeah, I'm here, and her fire, and that's what made it so interesting. I think he's gonna do well because he does have this sexy, smoky, laid-back, cool cat vibe. So he'll get to the final of Eesti Laul. There's no doubt about that. Will he win? Maybe people want some new blood. I don't feel like Estonians are I feel like they give everyone a chance, you know? The fact that Curly didn't win shows that they give everyone a chance. It's not just if you have a big name, you know what I mean? So he will have to compete. Home will have to be good if he wants to make it home, if you know what I'm saying. Okay. All right. There are, of course, a few other songs that have been uploaded publicly from the Eesti Laul selection. Robin, why don't you walk us through?
Okay. There are 4 at the moment we found. There's Aden Ray, Everybody's Dressed, which is kind of like a fun, funky pop song, kind of quite celebratory. Just a really big sort of, I don't know, not quite Bruno Mars, but that kind of swinging, everybody have a good time feeling.
I will leave behind the stress. Everybody's dressed. Everyone say yes.
I like that
Oh.
it has this almost 80s throwback vibe, yet it sounds so now. It seems to be kind of straddling eras in a weird way. Like, I think this would appeal to people from different generations.
There's also um, Etnopatsy, who have the song Külm, not Culm.
Hilla, 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 hey, hilla, hilla, ho, ho. Hilla, 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 hey, hilla, hilla, ho, ho. Hilla, 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 hey, hilla, hilla, ho, ho. Hilla, 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 hey, hilla, hilla, ho, ho.
And one of them was in last year. They're a couple of dreadlocked ladies, and they're bringing us quite an ethnic sound. I wish I knew a bit more about it to describe it in those terms. They have these lovely sort of chiming voices, and it feels very spiritual, very mystical. A lot of fans are sort of saying good things about this. I think people are really receptive to non-English songs, so something like this is like 2018 might be the time for Estonia to send a song like this. Then there's Frankie Animal, who has Can't Keep Calling Misty.
Still trouble in my young heart that ain't getting any younger. Can't keep calling Misty. Can't keep calling Misty. Can't keep calling Misty.
And that's it's a really kind of cool pop song. That sort of, I mean, we've only heard 4 songs so far, but that's the one that I think people are most excited about. It's just really catchy. It's got a nice kind of relationship drama thing happening. Then we have Miljardid with their song Pseudoprobleem. They're an indie band, and so this is Estonian lyrics. It's just a very kind of an indie rock song, so it won't appeal to a lot of Eurovision fans, but I kind of like it. It's cool. I think it's probably been chosen to sort of round out Eesti Laul, to show a wide variety of different music genres. It's good for what it is, so I'm happy to see it there.
I think just a point on the Estonian language, that it's great for big dramatic ballads, and it adds kind of a certain mystique. So like we think of Kulva, and that really resonated with people. But when it comes to these kind of folky, happy, clappy folk songs, it is very, I don't know, that band, trying to put it in the nicest way possible, what are they called? Etnopatsy. It kind of, it reminds me of a pack of Estonian cats. And the same with the band last year, that whenever that song came on, because it was I think they were the first to release their song last year too. And so it was at the very top of the playlist of all the Eesti Laul songs. So every time it came on, and I grew to hate it because it was always there. But yeah, it's very much an acquired taste, and I don't think it would connect with people outside of Estonia, or that maybe people in the Baltics might be friendly to it, but it doesn't have the same appeal as, say, the folk vibes Navi band gave off last year. They had a more universal feel. Yeah, the other songs are great, but they kind of passed me by largely, apart from Frankie Animal, which Can't Keep Calling Misty. And that, I just remembered that it was a nice radio song, but none of the 4 we've heard so far have struck me as winners.
The 2 dreadlocked ladies, as Robin put it, I do like that indigenous sound. It's kind of like Estonia's answer to Jan Henrik Fahlgren in Sweden. There was that woman in Finland last year who also had an indigenous song. I can't remember the name, and this is to my point. A lot of times these indigenous songs end up to foreign ears running together, and it's a slight concern. And, you know, none of these songs in Sweden, Finland made it through despite having a bit of support behind them. So I don't know. I'm not confident that song will go through. I just feel like the people who vote often are, 14-year-old girls who want that pop-tastic, like, I don't know. Because there's clearly talent there with those 2 nice dreadlocked ladies, very spiritual. I just, Yeah, I guess the pessimist in me is like, they ain't gonna go through because people want, Verona or whatever. And on Verona,
We have a song called
oh,
Drop That Boogie, and who knows what that's going to be like. It's very easy to get hung up on these songs, the first ones that we've heard, but eventually, like what happened last year is they were just all sort of every few days a new song would show up on YouTube, and eventually we're going to hear some that hopefully are going to make us go, oh my God, the song's amazing, it's going to win.
I'm really looking
Yeah.
forward to the collaboration between Carl Christian, the blondie from last year, and Carl Killing featuring Whatever. So it almost
Whatever.
sounds like this could be some kind of R&B hip-hop song, Mr. Killing and Whatever. Okay, watch it end up being Wativa, and it's some kind of indigenous word. But no, that's going to be interesting.
Well, we came up there with a theory before we started filming because I was remarked how last year he was with Hugo and they sounded very much like the Chainsmokers, which was the song of the summer back in 2016. And then Robin made the valid point that now this year they'll come singing
Despacito.
Despacito.
OMG.
There's
Well,
one
it kind of
called
has
Young.
that rapper. And like Whatever could be like Whatever Didn't They Have Daddy or something. Like they had a rapper in Despacito as well. So
That's true. Is it Daddy Yankee? Is that his name? We also have Girls and Pearls, y'all. I mean, the names here are, and Desiree. I love these names. It's hilarious.
yeah, Desiree, wasn't there a singer back in the 90s?
Oh, Romeo and Juliet
Life.
soundtrack.
Oh, life.
That was so good. Oh. In any case, that is what we think. What do you think? Are you excited for Eesti Laul 2018? Of these 20 semi-finalists, who is lighting your fire? Let us know here on wiwibloggs.
Make sure to subscribe.
And give us a thumbs up.
See you later. Bye.
Bye.